had 16 employees. Work was lined up for months. We were busy, and we couldn't even keep up. But I couldn't even make payroll every 2 weeks. So how does a business with 16 employees and a schedule completely full struggle to make payroll? I couldn't explain it until I started measuring. Peter Drucker is one of the greatest management thinkers in the last century, and he said, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. And most small business owners never measure anything, and their business quietly bleeds out, because they're too busy to notice. I did commercial and residential property management and remodeling, and I began to measure things there in my business on the beginning with the lawn side. And this is what I found out there with the lawn mowing routes. 1 broke even, 2 were slightly profitable, and 5 were losing money. And that was in a perfect world, saying there was no flat tire on the trailer, no broken mowers, no rain delays. Any one of those variables, and then even those profitable routes, they would have went negative quick. So I was working 16 people, and we're working hard, and I was losing money. But I didn't know it because I didn't measure it. And, at times I think that maybe might have been a knee-jerk reaction what I did, but I actually just quit mowing altogether. I ended up subcontracting all the larger accounts out, and then I gave away the slow pay, high maintenance, smaller accounts. But all of a sudden, I was profitable now. I did less work and became significantly profitable immediately. And then I took 4 of those employees that was on the lawn mowing route and trained them property maintenance and landscaping, and instantly profitable there. And then I also had a construction remodeling side, and I began to measure the profitability of those teams. And I found I had a poor bidding system. I'd actually forget to bid for stuff, charge for stuff. So I built a bidding template that started tracking everything, and I became profitable there. And then, after measuring, the workers at jobs, I found that some jobs worked best, if I just sent 1 guy. And then other type of jobs worked well, 1 skilled guy and 1 laborer. And then, certain times, maybe a couple skilled guys with a helper. It wasn't necessarily more guys on the job meant I got done quicker or made more money. But after measuring that, I became very profitable. So something to think about. What if I never measured? The business, would have crumbled, or I would have continued to work myself into the ground, getting poorer and poorer each year, but looking busy. So things you can measure would be your job or project's profitability. So, not just revenue, but actually looking at margin after the job, going back and checking the labor, materials, versus, the time you had in it and what you charged. You can look at your labor efficiency, or the employees producing at the rate that you estimated your bid to go at. What about your route or territory efficiency? The geography could be eating your margins. That's what was killing me with the lawn mowing. We were actually pretty profitable and efficient doing the jobs, but the drive time getting there and getting to the next stop, it just ate up all the profits. And, sometimes just the customer's profitability in general. Some customers cost more to serve than they pay. And do you know who those people are? Something else you can check is cash flow versus revenue. So cash is the reality. Are you measuring what's actually in the account? You need to be checking your bidding accuracy. Are your estimates matching, actual what it cost you? If not, you're either, overbidding and losing jobs, or you're underbidding and losing money. So, business is not a business metric. Profitable is a business metric. You can be completely slammed, busy with work, but, be broke at the same time. I know this because that's how I was. So, pick, this would be your call to action. Pick one thing in your business this week that, you've never measured it, but, start measuring it. Just pick one, and the results might surprise you. Or it might just confirm what you already suspected but didn't want to admit it. Either way, you'll know, and knowing is the only way to improve. So you need to measure everything. And this content is from my book, Business is a Journey, Not a Destination. And this journey is your life. And I can include the Amazon link in the description for the book if that's something you're interested in. Be sure to share it with someone, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.